everyone, and welcome to the Tarot with Titania reading of the week for September 1st to the 7th, 2023. I invite you to close your eyes and take 3 nice deep breaths with me. And I invite you to see a true root coming down out of the base of your spine, going down deep into Mother Earth and grounding you here and now in this present moment. Knowing that that true root is a wonderful anchor and ground, and also a conduit through which anything that no longer serves you can easily pass down into Mother Earth and become compost for your new good growth. Creator, this is your daughter Titania, and I'm here with all of your children now and in the future, holding space for this reading of the week, September 1st to 7th, 2023. My intention is to be a clear channel for the information we most need to receive right now, both personally and collectively, for our highest and greatest good. I'd like to invite my higher self and the higher selves of all of those listening, as well as an overlighting angel of communication, to be present and facilitate this exchange, ensuring that it happens in the highest and best way possible for the highest and greatest good of all concerned, and that we cover all that is in our personal and collective heart and mind at this time in the context of our reading right here, right now, for this week of September 1st to 7th, 2023. I'd like to invite the 4 archangels to please come and hold the 4 directions around us. Wherever you are across time and space, you are held in this circle of light. I invite Raphael to hold the east, Michael to hold the south, Gabriel to hold the west, and Uriel to hold the north. Thank you for coming. And with your help, we set the tone for ease, for clarity, for wisdom, for healing, for transformation, for peace, for whatever it is that we most need to receive right now, on all levels of our being, for our good and our good service to life and the good of our beautiful planet. Anything that doesn't match these frequencies and intentions is welcome to go now. Let's get to the reading, shall we? Creator, what is it that we most need to know this week, September 1st to the 7th, 2023? We ask for support in keeping our center, in keeping to our hearts, and allowing ourselves to do the work that we are here to do in good ways, staying in our lane and doing it all from a very grounded and centered and heartfelt place. What is it that we most need to know this week, please, Creator, for our good? Here we go. Once again. Okay. We're starting with the Prince of Wands. Change on the level of creativity, inspiration, and passion. Sitting in the recent past, which means it's relevant now in our present and in our future. This is information or experiences or transformation that we've had in our past that is relevant to our present and our now. So this energy of transformation on the level of, as I said, creativity, inspiration, and passion, coming to a new understanding or a new perspective or a new inspiration. And as a result of that, the changes that that brings. And this can happen relatively quickly. We're talking about the suit of fire. That's a very strong, explosive kind of quality of energy, that Kundalini generative quality. And change. Things happening to change and transform that. And so we are living in a time of tremendous change for ourselves personally, collectively. It kind of feels a little kooky when you look out into the world if you're watching the news. I don't recommend you do that too often. And if you do, maybe get outside for a grounding afterwards because, well, it's not the most uplifting content ever. But this idea that we are changing. The world is changing. We are changing. Everything is changing. The only constant, of course, is change, but it just feels like everything is accelerating. There's that increase in that momentum and flow. And so finding our center, finding our peace, finding our balance and our ground in the midst of these tumultuous times. If we're focused outwardly, we're going to lose our balance. We really need to come home to ourselves And then, as we've talked about many times in these videos, we come home to our bodies. We come through the breath, and that grounds us. Our bodies are our anchor on this earth plane. This is how we ground. I invite you to get outside, take your shoes off, step into the water, just hang out on the land with your feet bare in contact. It's a wonderful way to ground and just be very present in your now. If each of us does that, it'll make a huge difference in how we are responding and being in the world at this time, which is incredibly important. Present card, we have the Princess of Pentacles, which is new beginnings, fresh starts, baby-like beginnings on the level of the material. So change and new beginnings. So this new way of looking at things, this new generative capacity and power is being brought to bear so that we can create fresh beginnings in our lives on the material realm. This can be home, this can be business, this can be new beginnings on the level of the family. Princesses in my deck are the pages and others, and they can represent babies. It's that quality of fresh new life, of new start. This is sitting in the present. So remembering this, a fresh new start on the level of the material. And so the material includes the earth. The material includes home. It includes family and community. It's not just stuff. It's our physical experience and the content of our physical experience. And so having fresh new ways of relating to our physical experience is really helpful right now. It is September, the back to school quality of energy, the back to routine quality of energy. It always almost feels like a new year, a mini new year at the beginning of September. And so harnessing that, what changes do you want to make? What fresh new starts do you want to bring in? What have you learned from the refresh period of the summer, the time of the heart? Now we're going into the time, I believe it's the lungs, but I could be wrong. But this time that we're moving into, the autumn, and returning to a routine, returning to a schedule, what wisdom, what discernment, what practices, what scaffolding do we want to bring to bear to support us in this new beginning so that we can bring our best to things and transform our lives in the way that is most rewarding and satisfying and fulfilling at this time? Near future, the moon, major arcana, making friends with the dark aspects of ourselves that we're not always comfortable with, the things maybe we shove away that we don't really want to look at. They are just aspects of us, our humanness, if we could take a little bit of a step back and realize that as we incarnate as human beings, we take on, it's almost like putting a robe on. And the robe is made up of many colors and textures, and we maybe don't like all of it. Maybe we don't like the yellow in the robe. Maybe we don't like the sleeves. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But this idea of these parts of ourselves that we don't like, that we judge, that we criticize, and that we make wrong because they're not the way we think we ought to be or should be, or maybe the way society told us we have to be, we can look at them from a new perspective and integrate them, begin to make friends with them, bring them into coming into allyship within ourselves so that we are more whole and as a result more powerful, more grounded, more centered, more present to each other and to the work we're here to do. And through this making peace with ourselves, we come to be more compassionate with others, and as they struggle with their inner challenges, whatever that may be, the critiques they have of themselves or the discomfort they have with being with themselves, we can see that with compassion and kindness and hold space for understanding that so that everyone can benefit and thrive just that much more. Kindness is huge. Kindness, understanding, peace, respect. These are all really, really important qualities to foster right now. We don't always know what another is going through. And we know ourselves that sometimes we go through crazy things, and it's so comforting to encounter another human who sees us through it and loves us through it and affirms us through it. And if we can be that for each other and for ourselves, How magnificent and beautiful and transformative is that? The Hanged Man. Why we're having the reading this week is this energy of pulling ourselves to a new perspective, having a reframe of what it is that's uppermost in our field so that we can be more resilient and adjust and adapt in powerful ways. So we're seeing this here, this sort of energy of transformation and change. We know how to create change. We've done it in the past. We can do it again. And then how do we leverage that to create new beginnings for ourselves in rewarding and beautiful, aligned, congruent ways? And while that unfolds, part of it, I believe, is that we're experiencing as humans is this making friends with ourselves, this allyship with ourselves. It's healing the wounds that are there. The things, as I said, we're not comfortable with, that we don't necessarily want to look at. But as each of us does this work, we're healing the collective human field through our own work in our own field. Very important and very, very valuable to transforming the collective. So having a fresh way of looking at our life, maybe stepping back a little bit, not being so judgmental. That's always helpful if we could step into discernment instead. Create some space between ourselves and what is difficult in our field so that we can have new insights and new opportunities to look at ourselves in a new way, so that, again, this is easier to do. It's easier to complete things. It's easier to reframe things. It's easier to understand these aspects of our lives that maybe have been incomplete and difficult to grasp before, to gain the broader perspective that we need to integrate them into our wholeness and make them part of our strength. So it's interesting. We have this sort of quality of creative transformation that creates new beginnings, fresh starts. It's important for us to apply our will to create these beginnings for ourselves. We don't have to wait for something else to do this for us. We are powerful generators, and when we harness our energy as human beings who are capable of generating and bringing the life force through us in magnificent ways, there's this possibility for this powerful new beginning, this fresh start on our physical existence, our beingness as human beings, coming into love with ourselves, coming into comfort with our embodiment at this time, our own particular flavor, because we're all here in a unique way, being our unique selves. And being comfortable with that and making peace with it and allying with ourselves makes us a powerful ally with life at large and with each other. And this reframe is what's going to help us to do all of this. This looking at ourselves from a new perspective, a fresh perspective, pulling ourselves up by our bootstraps and hanging ourselves on our tree of life and having a good look at things from a new vantage point is very, very helpful for making this possible. Creating a broader perspective. And this can be in our own life and in the things that are uncomfortable in the space of life around us. So this is what we're looking at this week, is this energy of new perspective, this energy of generating a new beginning, of making the new beginning the way we want it to be, dreaming our lives up in a new way. How do we want to experience this reality in these beautiful bodies? How would we like it to be? Have you thought of that lately? How do you want to wake up in the morning? How do you want to feel as you go about your day? That's the quality that I'm encouraging you to bring in sort of in this mini new year that we have starting now in September. Really co-create with life the experience and the quality of life, the caliber of life that you'd like to have. And then making friends, because that's what life is giving us, is this opportunity to look at the parts that aren't comfortable and make peace with them, integrate them, hold them in good ways with kindness and love, honoring ourselves, being patient with ourselves, so that we can transform, so that we can be the change we want to see in the world, starting within. And from that place, holding kindness and compassion and peace and feeding that into the collective field, which is so transformational. Okay. And what is our card to grow on this week? This year, new beginnings, fresh starts. I hope you're all feeling at least a little bit of eagerness and for this new chapter of life going into the fall. I know there's just so much going on, but coming back to that idea of be present in your world. Don't let the messages that are coming in from the outside knock you off your center, as distressing as they may be. We cannot be of service to life if we are knocked off our center and wallowing in upset and feeling uncomfortable. And please understand that I know we're human and we have those feelings and it's okay. But just understanding that there is a time and a place for them. And at this time, we're being called into our mastery. So I encourage you to spend as little time as possible there. Take a deep breath, shake it off, and take the next step in your own experience, in your own life. Because there's enough for us to do in that location. And worrying doesn't change anything on the outside. Okay, so Creator, what is our card to grow on this week? What information, wisdom would be most helpful for us to keep before us as we travel this week and do our best? Victory, the Six of Wands, this energy of overcoming adversity, of overcoming the obstacles and the good feelings that come of it. So this is the quality. Again, what do we want to be experiencing? What would our lives look like if we were victorious? What does a victorious life look like to you? How would you be experiencing that? Who would you be in your victorious life? And bring that awareness into your field. You know, if you want to wake up happy, perhaps going to sleep with intentions and gratitude setting, that energy of gratitude is so powerful in helping us to shift into the energy of victory, of reward, of thrival. Appreciating what we have, being grateful for it, sends more our way to be grateful for, and helps us to recognize all the blessings that surround us, which is so helpful and important in living well here now. So our card this week is the card of victory. What does it feel like to be jubilant and victorious in our own life experience? What would that mean to you? What would it mean to be the victorious one in your own experience? And so as you navigate this week, I encourage us all to consider how we can be the victorious ones in our experience. Living life triumphantly, jubilantly, expressing the gifts that we're here to express, and sharing what we're here to share from this unimpeded, free, beautiful, open space. So, victory. Six of Wands is our card to grow on. Harnessing that energy of possibility, of reaching, of expansion, of well-being and joy and thrival. Pull that into the field this week. It'll be really, really supportive. Okay. And with that, another reading is complete. I invite you to close your eyes and take a nice deep breath with me. Just for a moment, consider that card of victory. Consider what feels victorious in each of our own experience. Who are you when you are victorious? Maybe remember times when you felt that triumphant feeling. And consider how to bring that into your field more. That's the beautiful thing about experiences from our past. We can mine them for the good that informs us in our now, so we can transform our present in magnificent ways. Creator, this is your daughter Titania. I want to thank you for being able to be here once again and do these readings with your support and help, and the help of all those who choose to be present at these Friday readings. I want to thank all those who helped to hold the space today. All of our grandmothers, our grandfathers, the sacred human family, who maybe isn't embodied at this time, but who was at one point and knows how difficult this journey can be. I'm grateful to the love and support we're receiving from that part of our family. I'm grateful to all those who are here in service and support and love, embodied or not. Thank you for being part of our experience. We have to remember to ask for help because, well, there are many of you there who are willing to support us and help us to get the things done we need to do. I want to thank the 4 archangels for holding the 4 directions. And I want to thank you for being here once again this week, for being willing to make friends with yourself, to reclaim those neglected parts, make them part of your wholeness, and become a clearing for more love and light and kindness and compassion and well-being on the planet through your courageous journey into yourself and into the beauty of your unique expression in life. You're pretty awesome. Thank you for doing your good work. Thank you for being here. And as always, I wish you a beautiful balance of your week, a victorious and triumphant experience this week of crafting magnificently through your gifts and abilities in community with those you love. I look forward to seeing you next Friday. Much, much love and light. Take good care, and bye for now.